This is how you'll be selling your HDB flat. You have decided that finding a property agent was too costly for your home. At 2% for a 500,000 4-room flat, it will be $10,000 off commissions. So you decided to log on to HDB Flat portal to do it yourself. Now what you've heard from friends is that you just need to input flat pictures, specs, and the listing price, and you can do it all on your own at your own convenience. And it looks something like this. Now actually there are some parts which you are not sure, but because this is your first time listing your own HDB flat, you decided to go to YouTube to search for walkthrough guides. You've seen this guy, Josh Tan. He's given a very good step-by-step guide on how to list. He's even suggested some AI templates for you to use for your home description and how to build a chatbot to handle queries. He has even given you very useful photography tips, but you searched around further and you saw even more photography tips from renovation channels. Now after you've taken your very pro looking picture of your flat, you registered your intent to sell with HDB, and this was a necessary step in order for you to list on this HDB resale portal. Now with SingPass, details of your home could be automatically filled with accuracy, which includes address, flat type, floor area and floor plan, which all can be retrieved from HDB's database. You only needed to upload fantastic pictures, correct? And make the right descriptions like how you would write a nice resume. Now you feel that your flat renovation is pretty nice, and therefore you've decided to place your flat at a premium. You feel 100% that you deserve the top selling price. Now this price that you've listed is at 10% higher than everything that's listed, which is about the max that the portal would allow, but you've figured out that you're willing to negotiate a little bit downwards and you wanted to give yourself that buffer. Voila! You've put up your listing finally, and you're thinking how many buyers would come through? And you went to sleep that night hoping that results will come in very quickly. Now you've gotten your answer. After a week, finally an inquiry. Okay, just one, not too bad, correct? And because you've been to HDB resale seminars, you kind of know what's the process and what are the forms to fill. All those option to purchase templates, you have prepared them well, and you have actually taken some tips from what you've learned to stage your house for this one prospective buyer. This prospective buyer eventually came, and he took a quick view and left without making an offer. Now you are wondering, why exactly didn't I get my offer? I thought I was going to sell the house already. Were they just window shopping? Can't be, right? Because only interested and qualified buyers with valid HDB flat eligibility, HFE, can book an appointment to see my flat, correct? Then you think back, shucks. Actually any right buyer who qualifies would have gone to see many flats because that's just part of due diligence. A few more weeks went by and still no new prospective buyer. All these doubts started to creep in. Is this HDB resale portal working? Is my listing competitive? Or should I finally lower my price? After all, my flat deserves top price, but maybe I've overvalued it. But that's where actually you wanted to seek help, because your problem of selling this flat needs to be solved. Now there are full service property agents who still charge 2% commissions. But you've decided to go and explore a few property portals. And with that, you've settled with one that charged a flat fee of $1,800 with good reviews. Now, this property portal does not provide you paid marketing services. They will only be inputting your application correctly and doing fact checking. But more crucially, they'll be advising you how to sell. They'll be sending down one of their experts to be with you so that the pitch for your flat is top notch. Now, anyway, you needed some advice, correct? This $1,800, is it money well spent? Maybe you thought, anyway, you needed some advice. Even though you know that in this HDB portal, you can indicate your preference for extension of stay and contra, which is a process whereby you sell your HDB flat to buy a new one at the same time. You also know that there are a ton of things that could go wrong that would delay the process. Secondly, you also needed some hand-holding and advice also for the buy leg. Now, everything I've described so far to you is a few years into the future, and a few things need to take place first before it can happen. HDB portal right now is still in soft launch mode. I went in, nothing much inside, because it needs time, correct, for listings to come in, and this is what I hope HDB considers. Can HDB mandate all listings for HDB resale to be into their portal? You want to list on other portals in addition? No problem, but one verifiable copy must be inside. If HDB hopes that home sellers will post there themselves because it's free, I think the portal will fail. Majority of home sellers are lazy. Banking on the minority of sellers who want a new method is not going to generate you enough adoption. This portal might develop a bad reputation that it sucks and it cannot get results. That is actually why you need widespread adoption. There are other key benefits. Firstly, you get a lot of data. HDB can make more accurate policies with more data. This also allows better regulation of advertising. I guess this HDB resale portal came about because this saga of 2 million HDB flat came about and caused a lot of hoo-ha. With one verifiable listing inside HDB's resale portal, consumers can filter up nonsense listings, duplicate listings, fake listings just to get leads easily. Now for myself, I've actually bought my HDB flat in a total DIY process. I viewed my HDB flat back 13 years ago myself and actually closed the deal with the seller's agent. I actually piggybacked on her to make sure all the documents are correct, because if she doesn't get it correct, the transaction cannot go through, right? She cannot earn any commission. Do take note, if you are a new buyer to HDB resale, in current markets, HDB buyers need to pay their own agent 1% of commissions just for this entire buying service. Of course, this 1% is negotiable. It's just a market rate, which I don't understand why, but it's also fully up to your negotiation. Now, I've actually bought my own condo, this one over here, by myself also. So in a condo purchase, the market practice is buyers don't need to pay any commissions to their own agent. The buyer's agent will co-broke 1% away from the seller's agent. But since I negotiated myself, the seller's agent must be very happy, correct? Because she was supposed to split the commission with the buyer. So when I came to her directly, she was super happy to serve. So again, this gives you a hint on how to negotiate, because it's an important skill in life, correct? And what are the typical market practices, especially if you are looking for your first or second property. Now, in the story that I mentioned at the start of this video, I think this could really happen in a few years' time. And let me explain where the value would accrue in this entire HDB flat selling process and where disruption can come in. It's gonna blow your mind, so listen attentively. This is actually why a seller's agent will charge 2% in commissions for their service. They actually do quite a lot of work. If you happen to be a property agent viewing this, it's not meant to be personal. I'm just highlighting what I feel is value and what I feel isn't. The hardest part and the most costly part of their work is actually in the unit acquisition leg. In this phase, property agents have actually spent time and effort to acquire you as a customer. You may have seen their flyers, or they may have built relationship with you over time. All these are time and effort to acquire customer, which any service business would incur. The property agent is supposed to take very nice pictures. Right now, they are equipped with very good tools that take 360 videos. They also post for you and they actually do all the filtering of leads. Do note, in the selling process, there is a lot of garbage enquiries. Property agents create the right buying condition, which could mean staging the house properly, and they actually handle viewings, especially if you don't like to be around there and talk to strangers. They are supposed to also be experts in negotiating the best price for you. Then in the leg above, you would see that property agents incur costs also in terms of marketing. They can market the free portals, but all these are not where the main traffic source is, correct? I work with some portals, so I prefer not to name names, but you do know, if you want to search for property advertisements, where to go. These portals actually charge agents a lot of money. Not just that, they are raising their prices every year because they know agents need to list in order to get traffic. Now, if you negotiate too hard as a seller with your agent, what could happen is that your agent will say, I cannot advertise for you 100%. I can only buy non-premium spots or something like that. All this is to cap their costs a bit lower so that they can be profitable. In that case, they usually like an exclusive arrangement because they're going to incur fixed costs here and they don't want to be played out by you when you are selling your flat. The last part of the value comes when the property agent does all the administrative work and handles the HDB appointment and use their experience to smoothen that process. Speaking to this point, actually 2% for a 500,000 flat, I can still see that there's certain value paying this $10,000 of commissions. because there is still fixed cost, correct? And it's mainly attributed to advertising space. But again, if my home costs $1 million, then I cannot understand why $20,000 is needed for commissions. And if the house is $2 million, $40,000 of commissions, so on and so forth. Now, let me next show you how value is accruing back from advertising portals, back a bit to agent, and back to customer, which is you. So this is how the new leg will look like. First up, right at the bottom again. Time and effort to acquire customer, yes, it's still going to be there in a different form. But the need to take right pictures, right now, smartphones are going to evolve even better. And posting and filtering leads, that could be solved by the HDB resale portal already. That leaves only the bottom part, which is creating the right buying conditions, viewing and negotiation. This piece is still an irreplaceable part of an agent. That is the skill part and the soft parts of how a real estate agent can benefit you. Then we go up to this marketing to portals part. If HDB portal works well, has good success track record, more and more agents would naturally just suggest to post within it and save on the advertising space. Right at the very top, admin, handling HDB appointment, all this can actually be done better with technology, correct? You know, there can be tutorials, there can be self-help guides. It's a bit like airport check-in. Nowadays, we can go and scan our e-tickets and stuff. I do believe the process can be sharpened a bit and it's all up to HDB. So with all this said and done, what used to be good value for 2% of a selling price may only be accepted by people who are too busy or by people who are just not IT savvy, like the older generation. If HDB resale listing portal can get results, there will be a growing market segment of consumers who are fully DIY and consumers who are partial DIY and are willing to film, post the listing themselves, and only pay a fee to a new breed of agent or property portal to do the selling and execution. What if this is just a flat fee of $1,800 regardless whether your flat is $500,000 or $1 million? As always, let me know in the comment sections whether you agree or not, and check this previous video out whereby I shared why I actually sold away my HDB flat. If you've seen it already, check out this previous video which explains selling a HDB flat to upgrade to 2 condos can potentially be dangerous. It doesn't suit everybody. Check either of these tutorials and I'll see you there. Take care as always. Goodbye.